All right, if you're doing business in Bangladesh, you know that managing your team is a whole lot more than just writing paychecks. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the complicated but absolutely critical world of HR and payroll and figure out how you can master it.
So, let me ask you something. You think payroll is just about paying people, right? Well, not so fast. It's actually a massive administrative job, and it's packed with legal hurdles and risks. If you get it wrong, you could be looking at some serious trouble. But if you get it right, well, that's how you build the foundation for a really successful business. And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? This is what every single business owner wants. A system that just works. Something that gets rid of the stress, gets rid of those nightmare spreadsheets, and lets you get back to doing what you're actually good at. So, how do we get there?
Okay, so before we can even talk about a solution, we have to get our heads around the problem itself. What does doing payroll in a country like Bangladesh actually, truly involve?
When you look at it, you realize you're basically expected to wear a dozen different hats. One minute you're an accountant, the next you're a tax expert, then a records clerk, and a lawyer, all at once. You've got to calculate the gross pay, then figure out all the right tax deductions, and then file everything with the National Board of Revenue. That's the main tax body in Bangladesh. And every single step has to be perfect. On top of that, you're keeping flawless records for audits and trying to keep up with labor laws that are always changing. It's a lot.
So let's zoom in on that calculation. How do we actually get from an employee's total salary, their gross pay, all the way down to the final number that hits their bank account? It's a journey, and it's one every single business needs to get right.
It really breaks down into these 4 big steps. First, you've got to gather all the data. And let me tell you, accuracy here is everything. One wrong number and the whole thing is off. Second, you add it all up to get the gross salary. Basic pay, allowances, bonuses, the whole shebang. Third comes the really tricky part, making all the deductions for taxes, provident funds, you name it. And finally, you get to that net salary and create a detailed payslip. Seems simple enough on paper, but each of those steps is a potential minefield. So, when you look at all that complexity, is it really any surprise that more and more businesses are making a big strategic change? They're deciding to stop trying to juggle all this in-house and are turning to outsourcing instead. Let's dig into why.
Because here's the honest truth for so many companies. Trying to manage payroll on your own just eats up so much time. Time you should be spending on actually growing your business. And it is so easy to make one tiny mistake that suddenly becomes a massive compliance nightmare with some serious legal risks attached.
But here's the good news. This is what you get when you outsource. You're not just hiring a service, you're literally buying peace of mind. You get guaranteed accuracy and compliance. You know your team is getting paid on time, every time, usually within just 3 days. And, maybe most importantly, you get your own team's time and energy back, so they can focus on what really matters, growth.
Now, if you do decide to go down this road, you're going to hear 2 acronyms thrown around a lot, EOR and PEO. And trust me, understanding the difference is absolutely crucial for picking the right partner. So let's break it down.
Okay, first up, Employer of Record, or EOR. Think of an EOR like this. It's your way to hire people in Bangladesh even if your company has no physical, legal presence there. The EOR becomes the official employer on paper, and they handle all the legal and HR stuff for your team. It is the perfect solution for companies from other countries who want to hire local talent or test the waters without the headache of setting up a whole new legal entity.
Then you've got the Professional Employer Organization, or PEO. Now, a PEO works totally differently. This is for when your company already has a registered business in Bangladesh. A PEO comes in and creates what's called a co-employment relationship. It means they share the employer duties with you, taking over all the heavy lifting of payroll, benefits, and compliance. Looking at them side by side like this makes it crystal clear, right? It all comes down to one simple question. Do you have a legal business entity set up in Bangladesh? If the answer is no, you need an EOR. Simple as that. It becomes the legal employer and lets you get started fast. If the answer is yes, then a PEO is what you're looking for to make your existing operations run a whole lot smoother.
But here's the thing. The really great partners don't just stop at payroll, not even close. They offer a complete 360-degree HR solution that can support pretty much every corner of your business. See, payroll and tax, that's just one piece of the puzzle. A true partner can also handle your recruitment, make sure you're legally compliant, manage employee benefits, and even take care of your accounting. It's like having an entire administrative team all under one roof.
And the list just keeps going. I mean, we're talking about everything from getting work permits and visas for your international staff to running background checks, managing onboarding, and even filing your corporate taxes. It's a massive support system, which means you have an expert on call for almost any challenge that comes your way.
So when you put it all together, all this support, all this expertise, what does it really boil down to? Let's talk about the ultimate benefit for your business.
At the end of the day, it's really this simple. The real value here is freedom. It's freedom from the endless paperwork, freedom from the administrative headaches. It's the freedom to pour your time, your money, and your energy into what actually matters, innovating, strategizing, and growing.
So let's sum it all up. By outsourcing your HR and payroll, you make your entire operation more efficient, you often cut costs compared to hiring in-house, and you guarantee you're fully compliant with all the local laws. You get to stop worrying, and that final result, it's invaluable. It's just peace of mind.
And that really brings me to one last question for every single business owner and manager listening. Just think about it for a second. If you could get all those hours you spend on payroll and compliance and admin work, if you could get all of that time back, what could your business really achieve? What new ideas could you explore? What new heights could you reach? That's the real question.